Has COVID stress or prolonged inactivity from quarantine flared up your low back pain? Maybe you've already tried the typical stretches and they're just not helping. Now, it just may be that simply stretching your low back in any or all directions can actually worsen your low back symptoms. Remember, just because you can feel the stretch into your low back does not mean it will actually be beneficial for you. Historically, the type of low back or sciatic pain that we're describing results from prolonged slumping postures that occur while sitting through Zoom meetings all day, or for example, slumping on the couch while binge watching your favorite Netflix series. Repetitive forward bending, particularly if you're also going to add in rotation, like when doing yard work or some specific strength training exercises, or just simply your normal functional activity throughout the day, can all worsen and flare up this type of acute low back or sciatic pain. If any of these scenarios seem to describe you, then please try these specific sciatic stretches to help relieve your symptoms now. Another sciatica stretch that you can perform for your low back pain is to simply get into an arched back or extended back position by resting on your belly, propped up on your elbows, and you could simply rest like this for minutes at a time, providing a small amount of arching into the low back. A little bit more active of a stretch from this position is something called a Cobra Pressup. For this stretch, you're going to start off in this position, lying face down, with your hands at about push-up position. You're going to press your hands down into the floor to fully straighten your arms, looking up and back, and coming right back down. The intent here is to fully straighten the arms while keeping your low back relatively relaxed and on the floor. One more time at full speed, you're pressing down through your hands, keeping your back, butt, and legs relatively relaxed as you stretch your back into that arched, extended position. Looks something like this. So another sciatica stretch that you can use to relieve your low back pain is to find a countertop or a high surface that you can lean your back into, spread your feet wide so that you stay relatively balanced, place your hands on the surface so that you can hold on as you look up and back and stretch your low back over the countertop or surface. Repeatedly, you're going to do this throughout the day, and you're going to be looking up and back as far as you can. It's very important to get to that end range of the stretch for this to have any benefit for you at all. One more time at full speed, you place your hands on either side on the surface. You're going to look up and back as you go backwards. A great countertop can be a kitchen countertop or a bench countertop. Another sciatica stretch that you can use to relieve your low back pain is to use your hands or fists to press yourself backward into that extended or arched back position. Looks something like this. From the side, you're going to take your hands or fists, place them into the small of your low back, and press them forward in an effort to stretch backwards. Just like that. Couple key features with the stretch is that you're going to be looking up and back as you go back. Your pelvis is going to be moving forward as you go backwards. Your knees remain relatively straight, and the whole intent of this stretch is to keep your back muscles relaxed. The movement is taking place because your hands and fists are physically pushing the pelvis forward. Also remember to keep your feet relatively wide so that you can remain balanced throughout the stretch. Looks again something like this. Just like that, and all the way up to relaxed. Now, my general recommendation for performing these stretches would be one set of 10 to 15 reps every few waking hours in the day. The more frequent or consistent your symptoms, the more frequent and consistent you ought to perform the stretches. One final piece of advice: if after performing any of these stretches, your symptoms significantly worsen, then I suggest taking a break and slowing down because they may just not be for you. If they do persist, I also suggest ice and heat to help relieve those flared up symptoms. Finally, if you have been experiencing significant low back pain and would like a professional evaluation and treatment that comes to your home or place of business, then click the link in the description below to schedule your appointment with me today, and I'll see you soon.